What is going on, Yeousch Sports? Limited Liability here, and I am back with some more Super 15 rugby with the Crusaders, trying to hopefully win themselves a championship here in the Super 15. And this week, I'm actually going to be bringing you two games. We have the Week 4 matchup with the Brumbies. The Crusaders made the trip over to Australia for this matchup, and then in Week 5, they make a return trip over to New Zealand to take on the Highlanders. But what I wanted to do with this video is kind of answer some of the questions that I've been seeing repeated within the comment section. Yes, I do read the comment section, and I've been trying to answer you guys as much as possible. It's a little difficult when you don't get notifications of people commenting, but these are the questions that I have been seeing multiple times that repeated, so I figured why not just answer them in your video. That way people can look at it, they can read it, they can reference that, and we can go on from there. So the first question, actually one that kind of, it makes me laugh. I get a chuckle out of it, but then again, I have to remember of what country that I do live in and our philosophy on sport. So, and that would be, you guys always, people have asked me, am I really an American who plays rugby? Yes, I am. I enjoy the sport. I love the sport. I've been playing it for about 10 years, off and on. I played competitively for about 7, and then the past 3 years has really been sporadic, with not really living near a team that I feel like playing with, mainly because of travel commitments with that side, having to travel 8 to 9 hours a weekend to play rugby matches, and that's just not working with me and my life schedule at the time. But I picked up the game when I was 18 when I got to college, and I've been playing ever since then. I've played, like I said, collegiately. I played on a low-level, basically a social men's side. They were more about the camaraderie than winning and things like that. And then after college, when I graduated, I moved up to Maryland, and I played on a really competitive Division II men's team. We were about a step or two below the Rugby Super League that they've established here in the United States, but we played against a lot of those Division I's, and we played against some of the second side teams of those Super League teams as well. So it was a really competitive team, and you can just tell the difference between a team. The social men's side that I played on, there were about 35 guys on that team. This men's team that I played on in Maryland, we had 65 people on the team, and about 40 of them, you could interchange on that first side and, still be competitive and not really lose a step with that. So it was really fun. I enjoyed it, and that is where I got into rugby, guys. And that's how I learned to love this sport and really just want to continue playing it. But like I said, I find it funny that people think don't understand how American loving rugby. And I laugh at that, but at the same time, I have to realize that I live in a country where if the sport's not American football, then most people aren't really going to get it. They're not going to enjoy it. They're going to put down any other sport. Hence why you see a lot of these arguments between soccer or true football and American football. And yes, I grew up playing soccer or football because I lived in Germany for a number of years, guys. And that's where I truly got my start, because living on a military base in Germany, you don't have American football for kids to play. It's soccer in the fall, basketball in the winter, baseball in the spring. That's what you have to deal with. That's what you learn to live with. So the second question that I've been getting a lot is people have been asking me, since I'm doing a Super 15 team, they want to know if I'm going to be doing a European Championship League, Guinness Premiership, some sort of series with that. And yes, that is my plan. I am planning on setting up and doing some sort of European team. I just haven't figured out what that team is going to be. And actually, I wanted to let you guys kind of help me out with that. So if you could, in the comment section, put down what European team would you like me to be. And if you see somebody else has said that team, thumbs their vote up. Let me know. So, because again, I don't really have access to the comments other than reading them every now and then. And it would just make it easier if I look at the top and see that the London Wasps, I picked them because they were the first one that came to mind, they got 30 votes. I will be them, and I'll go from there, with whatever it is. So that's what I like to do. But then I have to kind of decide, am I going to put it up on Yeousch Sports and have it compete with the Super 15? Do I wait till Super 15's over? Or do I post it on my channel, since I'm not really doing anything rugby related right now on there, because I have completed my Rugby World Cup with Ireland? So I'll let you guys know, and what I'll do is I'll give it till about a week or two after this video is put up on Yeousch Sports, and then we'll kind of go from there. And I'll let you guys know, 1, who I'm going to be, and then 2, where I'm going to be posting that video up as well. And now the last question I've been getting a lot from you guys is, what positions I played in rugby. And I really wish it was simple and say, hey, I played one position, that's who I am, and that's kind of what I identify with. But it's not the case. I started off when I got to college playing wing. I was number 14, so basically a right side winger. And I played that for about the first part of my first year in college. And then we had some injuries. We had a lot of people leave the team. Our scrum half dropped out of school, and I ended up becoming the scrum half by default. So to me, that's kind of where I identify with the most, because I played that position basically from my college side all the way until I graduated, as well as I was also the captain of the team. And my last year of university, I also played some fly half, because at the time, between my second and third year, our rugby team got in a lot of trouble with the school. We actually basically got disbanded from playing and representing the college. If you want to hear about that story, there is a playlist on my channel for college shenanigans. It's on there. You can get the full story of that and how we managed to get ourselves screwed up in that capacity. So during that period, since we couldn't play as the college, we all usually went over to this local men's team and played for them. Well, since that men's team had a scrum half, I ended up playing a lot of fullback and a lot of fly half for them. So that's kind of where I fell into play with them, and that's where I learned to play that position. So my senior year of college, once we got the team back on campus, I ended up playing some fly half for them as well. And then when I moved up to Maryland, I played fly half, I played some fullback, and I played some outside center for the men's team up there, just depending on, because as I said, you got 65 guys on a roster, 40 of them you can interchange on a first side, and you're going to be moved around just based on who's available for a game, who's injured, who's not. So it kind of helps you be a little bit more of a competitive within that aspect. And then during sevens season, I played sevens during the summer. I played some hooker, as well as I played in the back line in sevens as well. So I kind of consider myself a little bit of an all-around player. I know all positions, but I truly identify with the scrum half, because that's the first position I learned. That's my first, basically you could call it my first true love of rugby, was playing scrum half, because you got to touch the ball, be involved, be a playmaker, and then at the same time you got to play a little bit of defense and put your nose in there and, you know, smack somebody. Plus giving a person a boot if they're cheating, playing the ball on the ground is always fun to do as well. But that kind of wraps it up for this video, guys. As you can see, we pulled off a 13-3 win over the Brumbies, a 14-5 win over the Highlanders. And if you guys have any other questions, leave them below in the comment section. I'll try to answer them as much as possible, or answer them in one of these videos. And if you want to, come over and check out my channel. I do a lot more than sports, so maybe there's something else you enjoy. But until next time, guys, thank you as always for watching, and I will catch you all later. Bye.